I'm Gabby.
And I'm Shanna.
And we're 27 Travels. And welcome to our New York Comic Con vlog.
If you've been following us for a while, then you would know that New York Comic Con weekend is literally our favorite weekend in New York City of the whole year. Both of us have been going to Comic Con since before we ever met, which was like 13 plus years ago. I think we found out that that's how long we have both been going to Comic Con.
Like, so insane. And what's crazy about that is Shanna and I actually figured out a few years ago that there was a panel that both of us were at New York Comic Con before we ever met, like years before we ever met.
Yeah, I think
2011 or 2012 or something.
Yeah, I think the panel was either in 2012 or 2013, and we didn't even meet each other until 2015, and then we started dating in 2016. So it's just actually crazy to find out that it was fate. We were literally in the same room at the same time once.
Crazy, it's so crazy. But Shanna and I are both people who are obsessed with things. We love sci-fi. I love anime so much, and we just are into a lot of shows and different nerdy things that we just are obsessed with. And Comic-Con is the perfect place for that.
Yeah, Comic-Con was always a place where I always felt like I could be myself. I was welcomed exactly as I am, and there were just other people who were obsessed with things just like I am, which made me feel super welcomed in the community. So I always love New York Comic Con. Gabby loves New York Comic Con, and I feel like we're gonna just take you with us this weekend and show you everything that you could possibly do if you come to New York Comic Con. They actually gave us content creator badges this time, so we're gonna be able to film as many things as we want for you, show you everything that you guys could possibly do if you want to come to Comic Con for the next year. Our first order of business today was obviously to come here to film some stuff, but there is a panel that we are super excited for. So we are going to the panel for the new Game of Thrones spinoff. I think it's called Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And Gabby and I are huge Game of Thrones fans. I mean, if you saw our last two videos, we were in Croatia basically going to all of the Game of Thrones filming locations. So I feel like this just ties in perfectly to something that we are obsessed with. But it is a new show. It's coming out January 2026, and we are just so excited to go on this panel because I think the whole cast is going to be there.
Yeah, it should be really exciting, and we're so excited about that show. And I feel I'm so sorry, you guys. The theme for the last month is just Game of Thrones. I don't know how that happened. It was purely accidental. We were Croatia, Game of Thrones, and now we're Comic-Con, Game of Thrones panel. Basically, bless.
George R.R. Martin is supposed to be there, which I think will be really cool. I don't think we've ever seen him in real life before, so
Never.
that'll be really cool.
And that is seeing an icon, an incredible writer. It's so crazy to get to see him. So we're really excited.
Come to the stage right now from HBO and HBO Max presents A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
The mastermind.
Yes. George R.R. Martin!
And scenes come to you, characters come to you. They shove aside other characters. Don't forget about me, I'm important too.
Peace between the two shows that everyone has seen and that everyone loves. In a time where Targaryens don't have their dragons anymore.
But the panel we went to earlier for the new Game of Thrones spin-off show was so cool.
It was so cool. So
wow.
I think I might have said earlier in the video that George R.R. Martin was going to be there, but he was there, and it was just so amazing to hear from him and hear, how he developed the story and the world, and just hear a lot about what how his brain works, I guess you could say.
Yeah, we really got
a
a peek
cool.
into that, so it was really interesting, and that show looks amazing. On the showroom floor right now, and we've been walking around, but we're going to all the fun activations. There's claw machines, gumball machines, you name it.
So since we're filming this whole weekend, we're trying not to film too much today so that we have things to film some of the other days, but we did walk around the showroom floor today a little bit to get a sense of things. I will say I'm actually shocked at how crowded it is on a Thursday. Usually Thursday is the least crowded day of Comic-Con, but today it still feels pretty crowded.
It is definitely busy today. A little later in the day now. The panel that I think that we're going to go to is about queer books, I think, and George Takei is supposed to be there, which
and
we thought.
Peppermint, who is an extremely famous trans drag queen that we saw on RuPaul's Drag Race years ago, but she's also a New York City local, so.
Yeah, so that should just be an amazing panel. I think that's something Comic-Con is really good at doing, is having programming for all different kinds of niches and shows, and there's a lot of different queer events and panels that you can also go to, which I love.
But while we were walking the showroom floor earlier, I think we might have filmed a little bit of that. So it was kind of like a really big like claw machine, except you didn't have to like play the claw part. It was just like you like, you know,
Yeah,
put
you
the
like
little
pulled the
down,
lever.
whatever. And inside of it were like all these cat plushies, and me and Gabby were watching for a bit, and we're like, I think everyone wins, you know?
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, well then I'm totally down to like stay on that line
And like they're cats.
and
like,
investigate.
we love cats. You all know this.
So I went first and I got this really cute black sparkly cat plushie. So then Gabby went and she got the exact same cat, which is funny because before we even went, Gabby's like, my favorite one's the black sparkly cat.
I love this one. It's so cute and
So
like
cute.
fuzzy. I'm obsessed. So,
Obsessed.
So we got these, and they were like, "Oh, like your cats are like soulmates. They're matching." And we were like,
Yeah, that's us.
"We're also going to dress up as our cosplays tomorrow, which we're so excited about." That
And
you'll
we
have
will
to
show
see
you. I will say there's a
tomorrow.
little hint already on my arm because Gabby was practicing drawing this yesterday. This is my fake tattoo for my cosplay, and Gabby was practicing drawing it yesterday and actually stayed on.
I drew that with eyeliner. And like Shanna and I were like, "Oh, if it stays on, I'll just like retouch it tomorrow."
But
like,
this is a little hint of what we're going to be tomorrow, so you'll see. It is day 2 at New York Comic Con, and today we are cosplaying. So I did an angle where you can't really see our outfits just yet.
Yeah, like shoulders up. What are we? You know.
But I think I showed you yesterday the main part, I guess you would say, of my cosplay because I think it's the most telling thing of like what we are being. So if you didn't guess already, Gabby and I are actually Ellie and Dina from Last of Us, and Gabby literally hand drew this tattoo on my arm.
I
from
touched it up
scratch.
this morning like we said we were going to, so now it looks pretty perfect. I mean, there's like a whole, like, if you have watched the show The Last of Us, she has a bite and then she does this tattoo on top to cover it up. So the bite's like here, where this like moth is, and it like goes down.
But it's just crazy because Gabby drew this by hand, like by just looking at a picture with eyeliner. It's crazy.
What I think is really cool is that one of our followers messaged us and said that they love this show and that their girlfriend has the actual tattoo from the show on their arm,
Like
which I think
as
is
an actual tattoo because
so cool.
So if you don't know The Last of Us, it's obviously a show on HBO, but it was actually based off of a video game, and the main character is queer, which is really cool, and has a queer relationship in the show, which is one of the reasons why Gabby and I really wanted to do it. And Gabby actually played the game when it first came out.
Yeah, so we love it. It is such a good show if you've never watched it before. It is a little scary if you're not into like end of the world kind of
Apocalyptic
vibes,
stuff, yeah.
but like we knew that this year we had to be them because the show is so good and it like aired this year, like the new season. So.
And also like the queer storyline was like really prominent in this season. So
yeah, so good. But let's show you our full costumes. I'll show you Shanna's first.
Okay.
So this is Shanna's costume.
we have little fake like holsters.
Yeah, she's got the fake holsters like they have in the show. This is pretty much the exact outfit that she wears, even the backpack.
Picture, like here.
Yeah, we'll put a picture right here.
And
But
then I'll put a picture of the tattoo because we did such a good job.
okay, so give us a little Ellie moment.
Okay, ready?
Give her vibes.
I'm gonna shoot the mushrooms.
Yeah, our little fake guns that came with these.
I was so anti the fake guns. I was like, I just want the holsters. I don't want the guns. But then it came with it anyway.
Yeah, we tried not to buy it and it came with it.
So we're like, whatever.
Yeah, and I will say it does make the costume,
It does.
so.
When you have something in it, it takes it that next level. And this one is Gabby's costume, so I'll put a picture of Dina here. The only thing that's different, I will say, is that Gabby's a blonde and Dina is Hispanic, so I think that she has darker hair.
She has dark hair. She has like dark brown hair.
I think everything else is like pretty spot on, not gonna lie.
But the outfit is good. Work with what you have. I was not wearing a wig, so.
Yeah,
we
we're not
always
wig people.
Yeah, we always like to do when we cosplay like a version of ourselves, but like as those characters. We haven't seen anyone else in these costumes, but if we do see someone else in these
We're gonna
costumes
try and
today,
ask them if they want to be in the video with us. Or
yeah,
something.
we're gonna ask them. but we'll see, because yesterday nobody. But
So our first thing that we're doing today is we're going to a panel for, I think it's like the 50th anniversary or 25th, some sort of anniversary reunion panel for the movie Alien.
Sigourney Weaver, you
In the
guys.
flesh.
That's all I have to say about it. Sigourney Weaver.
I just read for the story. If it's a good story, I don't care what genre it's in. I never really thought about genres. Now, I just thought of good stories, and now genres are much more well-defined thing.
So it's us checking in. It's actually much later now. I think the last thing we filmed was on our panel, which was at like 11:30 this morning. But that's because a bunch of our friends and family came to Comic-Con today, so we were kind of like walking around with them and like not really focusing on the work stuff.
Yeah, and we don't love when we're like with friends and family to like force them to be like on camera when like we don't need to. Like we're here for a bunch of days, so like we can walk the floor and we don't have to like force them to like be on camera. I want to show you all something I got. Hold on, I just realized. We were walking the floor, and I don't know if you know, but I just love Mofussan, like the character. So I found these little like keychain phone charm Mofussans, so I had to get one. I'm obsessed. It's like a little lemon.
And we played like some of the gachas on the floor, and I got this little like Tamagotchi keychain that I put on my badge.
Like
I think it's so cute.
Also, the panel earlier today was amazing. So good.
Yeah, it was basically a panel with Sigourney Weaver and talking about the movie Alien, but also just about a bunch of her other work as well in the sci-fi realm. And then they had a special guest who was Veronica Cartwright, who was also in the movie Alien, come on stage, and that was really cool. I just felt like really good to like hear how much Sigourney Weaver loves just like what she does, and just loves being a part of all different kinds of sci-fi universes, because she is in a lot of them.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Let me tell you.
And I think a lot of it was also about how like she's played a lot of like strong like female characters like in her roles, which she has. So I feel like it was cool hearing her.
It was really good representation, for sure. But one cool thing that happened, this might be my favorite thing that happened today, is as you know, Gabby and I are dressed as Ellie and Dina from The Last of Us, and we haven't seen any other Ellie.
I saw one.
Oh, but I wasn't with you, right?
You were not standing next to me. I was like, no.
Well, but we hadn't seen really any other Ellie or Dina or Last of Us costumes, but while we were in Artist Alley earlier, we saw someone dressed as like the cordyceps, which is like that kind of like basically like what the people turn into when they are bitten and get the virus or whatever.
Like the kind of like virus that.
So we asked if they could take a picture. Hopefully you could see. If not, I'll put it on screen.
Can you see?
It's us with the cordyceps. Like, how cool is that?
Iconic. It was iconic.
Literally iconic. The panel that we're going to later, it's at like 8 p.m. is for Bloomfest, which is, well, it's called Bloomfest, but it's for Bloom House, which is kind of like the studio that makes a lot of really good horror films. And we went to this panel a few years ago, and we got to see like little teasers of like a bunch of the different movies that they have coming out, which I feel like for us is like great to know, like, oh, maybe we want to watch that one, or that one's on our vibe, or whatever. But it's just really cool.
Watching a lot of them.
Yeah.
I remember, which was cool.
Ethan, what was it like for you to put that grabber mask on again?
Well, what was it like to put the mask back on again? It was absolutely terrifying, is what it was. No, I felt, like Jason was just saying, Scott called me up. I remember I had about 2 hours to kill in an airport. My phone rang. It was a black phone, by the way. And Scott said, hey, I really have an idea for a sequel. And I paced the airport for about an hour as he kind of described what this movie is. And it was breathtaking.
You guys like the lore, right? And let me ask you a question. Would you like more jump scares? Would you like it to be scarier in general? We did that!
Good morning, everyone. So it is day 3 at New York Comic Con today. We just got out of a panel for the new HBO show called Welcome to Derry, based on Stephen King's It series, kind of like a prequel series.
Like to It, but it looked really good. So definitely something we're going to want to watch. But now we decided to come to the showroom floor, and it's Saturday, so it is the busiest day, but there are so many cool booths here today.
We are in line line for, I think maybe the panel this weekend that Gabby and I are most excited for, which is the Bob's Burgers 300th episode panel. So I believe almost the entire cast is going to be here. And when we got online, they gave us these 300 episode pins.
So exciting. Shanna and I have obviously seen every single episode
Every single
of the show.
episode.
I would say that it is like at least my comfort show. Like I love watching Bob's Burgers. It is such a good show. So it is so cool that we're gonna go get to see a panel on this. And I think like most of the cast is gonna be here. And they gave us these special pins. Wait, I want to show you all how cute it is.
It's so cool.
So cool.
Be a great Gene episode for our next season.
I mean, look, I think it has to be that Gene saves the lives of everyone in a retirement community.
Good morning from our last full day at Comic-Con. It is the Sunday of Comic-Con right now.
I cannot believe it's the last day. I feel like this weekend just like flew by. It's crazy.
Like, it's crazy. We've been having so much fun. We literally have areas of Comic-Con we still have not explored because we have just been so busy doing so many other things. But I love that because there's just so much that you can do here, and it's nice that we didn't do it all like in one day.
So I think our plan for today is we don't really have that many panels that we're like dying to go to. Yesterday was a more like panel heavy day, which you would have already seen from the video. But I feel like what we're trying to do today is go on the showroom floor and do Artist Alley, which we have done a little bit of in some of the other days, but we haven't really finished actually all of it. And I feel like that to me is like where the heart of Comic-Con is.
Yeah, I love Artist Alley. It's all just like artists like selling their own stuff, and I don't think we filmed any of that for you all, so I think we're definitely gonna have to show you some of Artist Alley today. But I loved like buying like art from like fandoms that I really love, like from actual artists. It's the best.
So I think our first plan of action today is to go on the showroom floor, which is right behind us. We did maybe film a little bit on one of the other days, but we want to show you some more of like what the booths look like, what you can get, what you can see here, because I feel like the showroom floor is like where most people are really excited to go to when they come to Comic-Con.
Yeah, like if you were looking to like buy stuff or like see like fun activations, that is what you would do. She heard the call.
Goodbye.
She's getting beamed up. Shanna just bought a shirt in Artist Alley, and I'm going to show you what the shirt is. I'm going to zoom in on it.
If you guys remember our Japan videos.
Yeah. If
that shirt should tell you everything.
Yeah, Shanna is like pro DDR, loves playing DDR, played it her whole childhood, and is really good at it actually.
And this is like the coolest shirt I've ever seen. I'm gonna try it on later.
I'll put the artist on screen, so if you want to like buy something from them, you can go and check it out. So, yeah.